This is the meeting of the Diman Regional School Committee, October 9th, 2025. Need a roll call?
Mr. Jennings,
Yes.
Mr. Deegan,
Here.
Mr. DiBiase,
Here.
Attorney Flanagan, Mr. Manuel's,
Here.
Ms. Menard.
And we have, in accordance to Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20F, any member of the public may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting. A member of the public who wishes to record the meeting must first notify the chair and must comply with the reasonable requirements regarding audio or video equipment. Established by the chair is not to interfere with the meeting. That's like the
Mr. Maddows.
pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice.
Need a motion for approval for the September 11th, 2025 minutes. Need a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody for citizens? 2.1 FY 26-28 school improvement.
Both of A and B, Mr. Chairman, are not yet ready, and they will be shortly for review and approval. They're being tweaked out.
Okay. 3.1, all the matters, MSBA school building committee. This is the audio. All right.
Just to give you a update before we go, have Alex speak with everybody. Just to give you an overall view of the school and let the public know. So we're 60% or so in done with the project. They are in the process of making sure even the overhead doors are closed in for the winter. They've installed the dust collector pad, which is a big thing outside the carpentry shop in order to start getting pavement done, which will be done later this month from the back of the building all the way around to Locust Street. So they will have pavement in there. The storage building for which is behind the building, it's a 5,000 square foot building. That has the shell is up on that, and the next process will be to start on the closing it in. Right now, they're putting all the utilities into it. The fireproofing has been complete. Equipment into the kitchen area has been installed. Looks phenomenal for those who took the tour the other night. The mechanical room, where most of the equipment is in there, except for the I guess we'll call them boilers, but that'll be the hand, what do you call it? The hand, the cooling towers. The downstairs is in the process of installing all soundproof ceilings, which is ongoing in all the shops. And one of the things that they're really concerned about, and they're looking to see when they can get that started because it's an ongoing job, is the polished floor. The polished floor might seem like it's a small task, but if they don't start on the polished floors come January, starting the shops, they're not going to have it done for May. So they're going to start getting spaces cleared out, start doing shops one by one, telling all the other trades they get in the shop, and they're going to start working their way through the building on the polished floors. The only ones that won't be getting that is culinary and machine tool, because of the manufacturing shop has oil, and that's a whole different floor. So that is something that it's driving them crazy, because they know how long it's going to take to get it done. But it's very important for the school to have the polished floors that the building committee approved of. Here tonight, we have Mr. Alex from Colliers.
Well, you gotta go over the.
So we're gonna go right here.
You don't have to go over it, but just make mention of it.
All right, so what we have is the project funding agreement, PFA, the second amendment. So we're gonna have Mr. Alex just go over that for us.
Okay, thanks, Don. So the PFA, the project funding agreement, was initially executed back in January of January of 2022. So, that defined the budget, the agreement with the MSBA, how much was going to be reimbursable, all the various line items just throughout the budget. Part of the typical MSBA process is updating or doing an amendment to that agreement when you have actual bids or actually numbers to the pricing from the CM. So it's a typical process that all the projects go through, that they update and they do an amendment based on actual costs. We did have an amendment prior to this. So amendment 1, if you'll recall, was when the MSBA, and there was a number of projects the MSBA had at the time that locked in with a project funding agreement, but then there was a lot of escalation during the continued design development and construction documents. And we experienced that too, where escalation was really through the roof. The MSBA came back and offered, usually when you lock in with the MSBA, even if they change their ongoing reimbursement amounts, if once you're locked in, you're kind of cut off. But they had a special agreement for our project and for some others where they said, okay, you guys can use we'll change the amount or agreement, and you guys can use the new amount that we're going to be reimbursing per square foot on a project, which was great. The problem is they made a mistake. When we were trying to reduce cost on the project, we reduced the square footage of the building. So they had given us more money per square foot, but used the wrong square footage, a higher square footage than we actually moved forward with. So therefore, they needed to correct that error and basically take back or reduce some of the reimbursement. But at the same time, they wanted to incorporate the actual contractor's actual costs. So they covered a couple different things within this amendment number 2. So in the first amendment, I don't know the exact amount, but it was in the neighborhood of $22 million or thereabouts that was additional funding, additional reimbursement. So this correction brought that back about $6 million. And then with the shakeout of the actual cost of the project, essentially from the original PFA to our current PFA, there's an additional reimbursement of about $17.5 million. So it's all good news. Part of the process, they're just kind of correcting, trying to get that out quickly. At a groundbreaking there, they announced that we're going to give you this additional funding to get things back into the project. They just made an error and used the old square footage, so they had to put. So it's a little confusing, but in the end, it's all good.
Yeah, because a lot of that went out from the state, wanted to make sure that we were informed on what we were signing. That I was signing, Bentley was signing. So that's why I asked you to come here and explain it so the committee would know.
Yeah, this is kind of the document that they really, everything refers back to this agreement and this multi-page budget. I was trying to explain to another district how this works, and I said it's kind of like doing your taxes. There's one form, but there's all these formulas off to the side and all these different calculations that incorporate this. So the MSBA informed us that they were going to need to make a correction. I don't know, 4 months or 5 months ago. It's taken a long time. So we went back with them and we reviewed it, and we found some additional things that we didn't necessarily agree with, and had some back and forth with them. And then once we kind of agreed, then they go back through and it goes through all the different levels of authority there to get final sign off. So that's where we are today. We finally have that. We will probably be, we're going to be referring back to this on an ongoing basis as we go through. This may get amended as the budget gets amended. This is, this brings up our project cost to $292,255. Originally, we were at $293,479 million. So it's about a 1.2 reduction, and really that comes down to the buyout of the project. So we'll keep you updated as we go through with any changes. You know, right now, Suffolk is on budget, things are going well. We have contingency for anything that we foresee, and we think at the end we'll be in good shape.
All right.
And just, and Mr. Chairman, just for the public's, that was money that we did go back to the four communities for, but we only asked for 11,400,000. We did not ask for the whole thing. So there is still a surplus of money that we will be returning to the communities from that money. So so we didn't, thank God we didn't spend 22 million, or we really would have been in trouble, but we only asked the communities for 11,400,000 to put things back in the project that we had taken out when we previously the escalation put us over budget. So, but thank you for that
Sure.
explanation.
Anybody have any questions, comments? No? Great. All right, thank you for explaining that and.
Sure, it's complicated, and if you have questions or you think of things later, let me know, but we'll go through it, but
Do you have anything to add on the project that I didn't go over?
no, I think we're looking good. I mean, the big push is really, like you mentioned, getting the building enclosed for the winter, so we have temporary heat. So they're going to be enclosing, like you said, the shop doors. The overhead doors won't be installed, but they'll be filling it up with plywood. Then those doors can get installed from the inside anyway. Finishes are ongoing, so tile work, paint, and some of those types of things, and the sequence that they started with in the beginning. As they work through their different stages, some are, in the shop, some of them are just in rough installation of plumbing and mechanicals and stuff, and some are getting really close to finished. They'll be working from the top down. Obviously, there was a lot of work that happened over the summer, get this new pathway squared away and the driving loop, that seems to be working out great. It's, knock on wood, we're what we expected to be. Managing the move, that's a huge undertaking and planning effort that's been ongoing. So we're really trying to make sure that, we have a good plan so that when the time comes to actually execute it, we can get it done in the time that we have.
Great, all right, thank you.
Sure.
Alina, do you have the original copy to be signed? Okay, we can sign that right in. All right,
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And Tim's Kai's just finished the 50%.
The DCAM evaluation.
DCAM is done. And signed that the other day. I spent 2 hours with Crystal and your team, and the grading of the contract is very fair. There were two that need some improvement, but they're doing a great job.
Well, just a little bit about that. So DCAM who really sets up all the procedures that we have to follow. And so it's required that at 50% through construction, we do an evaluation of all the filed subbidders and the general contractor or the CM. It's for their own informational purposes. These don't get sent into, they're not provided publicly. This is just to give a contractor a heads up that, hey, this is where you're tracking. So if they were having some issues, they have time to correct them and get a good score at the end, because at the end, we do have to do a final evaluation. If a contractor was to have a track record of 2 or 3 negative reviews, then they could potentially lose their ability to bid on these projects. So it's important. And then as Don said, they were all passing scores, some higher than others, but they were all, things are going well. So we don't have a lot to critique.
Doing a great job. We got to see the school this week, the building committee. Wonderful job they're doing.
So, Mr. Chairman, there
All
was a
right, Peter.
recommendation to
Yeah.
approve the MSBA. Thank you.
just thought I'd do that, yeah. I need a motion to approve the MSBA project funding agreement. Second amendment as submitted.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the MSBA project, their schedule update?
That's on this is for informational purposes, and, Mr. Frost will explain what is going on, right?
So we received the final debt schedule and the original debt schedule had a bond rate of 4.5%. And the interest that was originally approved for the budget for this year was 3,232,158. But when we received our final numbers, the first interest payment actually went up to 4,291,894.44.
What was that?
4,291,894.44 is the new interest rate. This schedule will not change. This is what will carry us through the rest of the project. But unfortunately, that will have an impact on the member towns' investments. We are looking to see if we can use any of our EMD to lower that as far as the amount of interest that we're earning on this borrowing. We can apply it towards what would go back to the member towns. So the difference is $1,059,735.44. Right, included the breakdown of the additional assessment. That was needed in the member towns to cover that.
Okay, is that money you want to use out of E and D
So we're
potentially use out of that?
We could, yes, we could use that. We can't use anything from the borrowing to pay off that, but we can use E&D, yes. So once that's certified, we could look at that, and I know this year we do have substantial interest payments that we have received that we could use to offset that so far.
Okay, once you know what the difference is in for the sending communities, just as soon as possible, get it out to them. Just so they're updated
Yep.
and
So I do the, one of the spreadsheets that is included, it does say updated and it's highlighted in yellow. If we were to assess back the towns. It does break it down, and then we did send out the quarterly payment, in. The first of the quarterly assessments, we did not do that additional. So it's spread out over the frame, but.
Okay.
Because we decided to do that, so, yeah.
any questions or? Then, need a motion to approve the revised school building committee, I'm sorry. Go ahead. For the next one already. Okay, was there anything else?
In regards to that, no.
Okay, next is the discussion on the revise of the school building committee.
Oh,
So everybody should have a copy of the updated version. of The school building committee. This is DiBiase, one of your questions or comments. All right. Need a motion to approve the revised school building.
oh, wait a minute, 1 second,
This submitted.
1 second.
Yep.
Okay. I got it, I was just looking at,
Yeah.
one correction, Lisa DeRosius, who hadn't attended, 7 previous meetings or 8 previous meetings. She did come to our last meeting, so, Mr. Chairman, at this point, I'd like to leave her on. Is that
Okay.
correct,
Yes. Can add for the
add
back.
her back on? So, she did attend, and we'll be back on the record again, and we'll notify her that she's off the train. But she did show up, so, and go do the tour and, came to the meeting, so. All right. Mr. Chairman.
All right, need a motion to approve as submitted.
So moved.
Need a second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, discuss the approval of Casa Cruz amendments. Mr. DiBiase, you want
Okay. So they brought it to the school, the building committee on Monday. And if you see on the paperwork here, you have something from Castle Blues. And it's as it says in the statement, this is a proposal for reimbursement services of the above noted project, which is the our MSBA project. And this is for their services for reimbursement of this. I'll read the whole thing, so we put it in record Elena. So it says on here, please submit the fee proposal for various reimbursable services to the above noted project. We have detailed our proposal for these based on on the requirements outlined in the MSBA designee base contract previously executed and the current MSBA reimbursement. And this allowance increases the contract value that can be billed against based on the requirements in the field and overseen by the owner's project manager. This increase reflects the need to oversee the work associated with the increase in unsuitable soils within the building area of influence and the uncovering of unknown transit piping requiring additional monitoring by our consultants. So what this is about is when we were doing the drainage work out in front of auto mechanics area and in front of the courtyard, we found transit pipe, something we did not think of when we started this project. So obviously we have transit pipe on the property. So between that and also when we were doing the digging of the dirt and we went down 32 feet, Castle Blues hires, according to their contract, they have to hire a engineer that oversees that material, making sure that they get down to what suitable soils before they say, okay, that was down deep enough. And also the removal of the transit pipe from the hole. And the reason for this, as you see, for $108,000 is basically for those engineering tasks that was already been done and some money put back into that budget for money for engineers that will be coming out when we start taking down the school, because we know there's more transit pipe that goes underneath auto mechanics towards the machine shop. That's the way the pipe indicated it was going when they were doing the digging. So we don't know how much more we're gonna find, but this covers some costs out of their budget to be able to bring their engineers in and pay their engineers on time, because this is an outside company from Castle Blues that they are required to hire. Tim could probably talk about this a little bit more, but that's basically what it's about. Am I correct?
Yes, and so this is basically a budget to draw from, so as needed. As they do some investigation, if they find the additional pipe. And so we have to have a hazardous material monitor there and certifying, signing off on everything. That we have the funds to pay that. If it doesn't, if we don't find it, we don't use it, and it's the balance that rolls over. And then the same with the geotech engineering. There was more material that we had to, because just the nature of the material where we removed it, it's just not flat under there. Once you have borings in a couple spots, they give us some indications, but you know, it undulates. And so there was more material that we had to remove initially, meant that that engineer had to be out there longer and saying that, yes, this is okay to build on from here up. So it just means there's less left over for what we know is going to be a lot of site work when we do the demolition and the reconstruction of the field going forward. So kind of to make sure we have enough funds in that line item to complete that work. And the same thing is, it's pay as you go. You're drawing down on that budget, but if it does, is it needed, then it remains as a surplus in the budget.
Okay. Any questions on that? And then needed approval of the KBA amendment number 8, additional reimbursement services as submitted. Need a motion?
Motion made.
Need a second?
That would be for 108,000.
Is the amendment
50,
and
50,000 and 58,000.
yes.
108,000.
108,000.
Well, I have a motion, I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And the second one, that we have here, Tim, is a, no cost to the, project. But this is the one for, scope revisions related to the value management process. As you're aware, the project now has the ability to reintroduce certain elements that were previously removed during value management. In support of the district and for overall benefit of the project, KDA has already advanced design services for the following items at no additional cost. This proposal and the resulting contract amendment will formally incorporate these revisions into the agreement. Things like we added into the project, but it's at no cost, was a gymnasium, a batting cage for the baseball and softball that you use. The gymnasium, a mat, so the, girls, cheering can put their mats up on the, into the ceiling rather than laying in the corner of the gym. Floor finishes in the lobby. As you remember, we continued the tile from the entryway down towards 251. And then the floor finishes, which we just discussed about the polished floors in the shops. So he's doing this, so a no cost proposal cannot be brought back to us. And that's why he's basically doing this. He's protecting the project. So again, Mr. Chairman, this is a no cost management scope.
Okay. Any questions on that? All right, hearing none. Recommendation is to approve the KVA amendment number 9, gym equipment, flooring finish, and motion, need a second? All in favor? Aye, opposed? Okay. And now,
You want to go back to that one, Chairman? I apologize. I missed the.
oh,
Want to pronounce that for me?
Welcome.
Walker. Swear items. So these, I guess, Brian, are the store items that we have,
Yes.
or Melissa and.
What the committee has before is that this is a combined list that Melissa has worked upon in order to find out, we have material in storage, what do we have in storage? That we know when it's being transferred back over here to the school, we can receive it and go down the checklist. So this is everything that's in Walker right now, is that correct?
Yes, so you had asked last time when you approved the expenditure, what is it that we have, so. Some of it is graphic arts, equipment, we have some medical assisting equipment, but the majority of it are student desks and chairs. So this is a listing and they will update it as they receive more items.
Right, so these sheet metal panels and doors. Well, touch it. So I'm just, some of these things I'm looking at, I just want to make sure I know that. Paul probably told the project about it, like Council Lewis, because that's who he's working directly with.
Yes.
But I want to make sure that this is really a sheet metal in the doors, that this is for the doors. That we don't double order. But if this is just a kit for the kids to work with, I don't know what that is.
It's equipment. I think it's equipment for metal panels.
It says metal, so
Big metal panels.
panels and doors.
We can share that list.
Yeah, we did get this,
Yeah.
he I think, Greg can cast, yeah, every time they had it, he might have this already in his file. And it might be nice to give him this, so, in fact, I'll see him in the morning and I'll end this list for him, if you don't mind.
And if you, of course, and if you need more detail, no, this is straight from all of us, so like I said, if they receive any additional equipment, they will keep this updated and send us along, and I'll make sure that you have that next.
Now, when you're saying desk ready.
That, I think that's just their description. Mr. Kitchen had mentioned that they had, they would be, Walker would eventually be bringing over approximately, it says 850 desks.
Yeah,
So, and that would be done by Red Thread.
okay.
Are we paying a flat fee for the storage, or as things come in, it goes up?
It does go up as more storage, yes. So if you look at the total, there's approximately, it says 516 items are being stored there right now. And of that 516, 473 of them are student desks.
So we,
Total items, so that includes the equipment for graphic arts, the medical, exam tables. the rats, which were for, looks like metal fab. Because they could not be stored outside.
I'll talk to, I'll be there with, Brian, we're gonna be there one?
That's not
Okay, but I'll be there with Leslie, and we'll talk to him about this and find out when's the soonest that this stuff can get out of storage and be brought to the project so we can stop paying rent.
And we also have the Verco tables that are at, the cafeteria tables of the, with Verco.
Yeah, they're
stuff.
Yeah, they're there too, and they fit into the project, so those, it was just a question about whether we were gonna use them or not,
Yeah.
but we are,
Okay.
so,
Okay,
thank you, thank you.
Want to talk about the, contract change order, PCCO?
All right.
number 10 done.
Oh, okay, got it. So this is a prime contract change order, 010. This was given to the building committee on Monday. It was gone over by Suffolk and by, Castle Blues, for different things. I circled the two things that I wanted to emphasize, on this project, but if you look over to the right column, if your eyes are really, really good, you will see the costs of these items. Bottom line is the cost for this contract sum adjustment by this change order is in the amount of $189,197.60.
Any questions or comments?
And yeah, nothing on that.
Okay. So, recommendation to reaffirm PCCO number 009 for a total of
010, I'm sorry. Did I miss?
010
Yes.
for $189,197.67.
66.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Need a second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, MSBA project expenditures.
So we have the Collier's bill for services rendered through September 30th, 2025 for $136,831.59. We have the KBA bill for professional services rendered through September 30th, 2025 for $115,537. We have the bill for services rendered through September 30th for Suffolk for $10,223,423.41. And we have the bill for Yankee Engineering through September 30th, 2025 for $20,820.
I just have one question, Mr. Chairman. Tim, now that you're here, unless I'm missing it. So I see that you, and I notice this every month that obviously, but it's being signed by Colliers to KBA. And Yankee, but I don't see a stamp with a sign on it for Suffolk, is that? For the
Oh.
10 million?
We typically do that.
This is the pencil where it gets this. So we don't have the.
Oh, you don't have the Uber,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
I apologize.
Yeah, we typically do.
Because the others had it on that form, but that's why I was asking that while you were here. I'm sure you've seen those.
Mr.
Yes.
Mr.
As I
Chair,
mentioned the other night, it's like 1,000 pages.
Yeah,
A recommendation to
Mr.
approve the MSBA.
Mr.
project
Chair,
expenditures.
Mr. Chair, sorry for the interruption.
Yeah,
So in respect to that, I did not receive the finalized Suffolk application with the stamps. And there was an email that was sent out by Mr. Freeman where the requisition was actually revised to $10,569,276.68. So that's, but because I don't have the signed form, I don't know which amount is correct, to be honest. So I don't know.
Can you make a motion to approve the higher amount pending receipt of the stamped version? Because the architect signs that, we'll stamp it, approved recommendation for approval.
Do you know about the added one?
I did see the, what happens is it's like we said, it's about 900 something pages.
Correct.
And then we provide comments and then they get revisions, and so it takes some time to work its way through. And I did see the email that you're referring to.
Would you
Yeah, I
like,
just don't have a copy of it to be able to.
What is the total amount? 10 million.
so it's $10,569,276.68. And then he goes on to say that Cherry Hill was reduced by $15,675 to reflect KBA's comments. The Vision 025 Planet, $10,367 were removed per Collier's notes. And fee increased by $148,000, that number is not correct, to reflect current cost percentage complete. So there are some comments that were made by Colliers and by KBA that brought the total requisition to that number. But I did not receive, so they were having issues with DocuSign. And this was on the 7th. And my response was I included the pencil rec in their packets, and can email the signed requisition as soon as I receive it, which I did not receive.
So you can make a motion to pay it pending acquisition of the necessary records.
All right,
All right.
so,
You gotta get that new number, that's the new number.
Correct.
All right, so I'll make the motion, Mr. Chairman, that Colliers at $136,831.59. Castle Booth's invoice of $115,537. Suffolk at $10,569,276.68. And Yankee at $20,820.
yeah, I have a
Pending,
motion.
pending acquisition.
Pending on the Suffolk pending.
Acquisition of necessary documentation.
Okay, I have the motion. Need a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? All set. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Safe travels.
3.1B, correct.
So, for the committee's information, these are the appointments that have come down since the last meeting. And the first one for appointments in the front, we have job therapy authority, so I'm not going to read all the names. But these are due to some substitutes that we've needed due to absences. You see the first two are interim, department head. Both of the department heads in the English department and in the HVA. Long term for the moment. I do have a correction for one, the fourth one down, Robert Fox, HVAC related long-term substitute. He is unable to. That should be stricken. Other than that, all the other ones are just regular and normal that's in there. Tutors, these are grant funded after school positions in case we need them due to students who are ill or need tutoring at home due to injury or illness. The second group of extends, this is also, these are after school programs that we have, and this is again grant funded. Evening school instructors is our normal group of instructors that we have doing our evening programs. For resignations, we do have 3 altogether.
Before we go to there, Mr. Chairman, I have a question. So this is what we ran into a couple of years ago with it. We had teachers out, we had people in there that really didn't know how to teach HVAC. And we had parents that complained.
Yes.
And it wasn't fair to those kids because all year we had that same person there who couldn't teach.
Yes.
So Jim Riley, I know, is a great police officer, but he's not a plumber.
We have.
So I'm asking you, is there something that we're gonna keep advertising for?
No, we have a plumber who he broke his ankle just before the school year started. He just received clearance. Today is Thursday. He received clearance on Tuesday that he is all set to come back. So he is rejoining us. He's brand new. He hasn't even come into the building yet. And the other one is that I interviewed a plumber this morning. It seems very hopeful. He will tell me the answer very shortly. He's getting married this weekend. He said he would call on his honeymoon. I said, don't be crazy. Before you go on the honeymoon. So yes, he's expected to give me a call on the accept over there. We're hoping that he does accept. He seems very interested. So plumbing will be filled.
All right, and HVAC?
HVAC,
And this guy's teaching related.
well, he backed out of this position. Mr. Parks, did not want the position.
Can you speak?
He changed, yeah. We have information on him, which I'll let,
Yep.
Mrs. Ferguson explain.
So in the meantime, the seniors, and we have, another retired sheet metal teacher that is actually picking up the senior sheet metal curriculum at the current moment, and he'll probably continue to do that until our HVAC instructor.
Do you know the instructor? Richard Pickett?
Yeah,
Yeah.
good guy.
So, the plan is that we have people returning, so we have other people going out. We're working. To continue,
I'm sorry.
No, not at all. No,
Sorry.
Please ask questions. At the bottom of the page, resignations, we have had 3 resignations. Austin Campos has taken a job somewhere else. Sarah Fusaro has left the LPN program. And at the top of the next page, Stacy Lane, administrative assistant, has also resigned. I informed about the newest person who could be considering, he signed today, he signed today. And he will be starting, I believe, October 27th, I believe, is the date that he'll be starting. So we're filling them. Advisory appointments coming up, though, the committee will need to take action on these.
Is that in the next meeting, is it something, could we approve, non-contract, non-union employees? We have to,
That contract.
Hopefully next year.
yeah,
Sure. And advisory appointments.
Because that's a 3-year appointment, right?
We offered.
You gotta negotiate.
Offered 2.
What's that?
Gotta negotiate, it's a non-union contract.
Yeah.
Non-union.
right.
Okay, so he accepted the position,
It's usually just subject to, because it's a non-union, if it's gonna be more than a year, they sign it, so we normally
Okay,
negotiate.
we'll bring that to you in the November position.
Yeah, okay.
On the advisory appointments there, I will not read the bio on each one, but rather I'll read the name into the record and what advisory committee they're on. We have Michael Barabee, Facilities Maintenance Management, Eric Miguel, Plumbing, Don LaBerge, Programming and Web Development, Julia Laurel, Metal Fabrication Welding, Caleb Monis, Dental Assisting, Sophie Oliveira, Business Technology, and Ariel File, Programming and Web Development. And each of these, the biography on them is there. And the recommendation is to approve the above that I just read off to the appropriate advisory board for a period of 2 years.
Need a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
If I can, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
I know there's 3 or 5 year term? 3 year. So we always see the appointments, but I never see we have so many of them, like I've never,
Reappointed,
yeah.
they all stay on. If you
So
like
is that something that the committee has to reappoint them?
I'm familiar with that as only two.
It's a 3-year term.
Yeah.
You know, and we've never had that. We've only had the new people coming in. We've never seen a list to reappoint them up yet. Yeah.
It's true, because there probably are some that 3 years ago were appointed, and now their 3 years are up. But you don't even see that if they're reappointed.
Yeah, 'cause you might,
Very good question.
it might be something, that Jen should be able to handle, Leslie, because give a list to each shop of all their advisors, and if somebody's not showing up, they could cross it off, so we don't approve somebody who's not coming, you know what I mean?
So this year, you might have seen that was done at the beginning of the advisory board, that the paperwork was passed out to distribute to the department heads, as it was necessary for people on there to re-up their query forms, their query service
Yes.
forms.
Yeah.
And I think there was one other form in there, which was we'll go with the query forms, that they did that this year. They have been getting turned in as they commit. They do have until the spring advisory board in order to commit.
Correct.
All the way around. So that'd be a good time that we'll get that back to the committee, so you understand.
Because it's never been done, for as long as I've been.
No,
It has not, right?
No.
Okay. Thought I might have missed it, but Unless they don't get. Okay, I'll bring it back. Continuing new business, we do have student travel. Kathy Mello, theater advisor, has submitted a request to travel with students to attend the Theater Arts Membership Meeting on Saturday, October 18th, 2025, 8:30 to 1 p.m. in Wayland. And the recommendation is to approve the student travel request submitted by Mrs. Mello, Theater Club Advisor, for students to attend the Theater Arts Membership meeting on Saturday, October the 18th, 8:30 to 1 in Wayland.
Need a motion to approve? Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Manny Patello, the soccer coach, has submitted a student travel request to students to attend the high school night New England Revolution game on Saturday, October the 18th, 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. in Foxborough, Massachusetts. The recommendation is to approve the student travel request submitted by Mr. Patello to attend the high school night New England Revolution game on Saturday, October the 18th, 2025, from 3 to 10 p.m. in Foxborough.
Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hopefully they'll win. And Mr. Machado, Decker Advisor, has submitted the following student travel request, and we're combining them all here. The first is Decker Day on the Hill to visit the Massachusetts State House, and that is on November 7th, 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. The second one is the Decker Celtics game for students to attend the Celtics game at Boston Garden, November 12th, 3 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. And the next one is one of their conferences, the Decker ICDC Conference, to attend the Decker ICDC National Conference in April the 24th to April the 30th in Atlanta, Georgia. And the recommendations to approve all three requests from Mr. Machado, the Decker Advisor.
Need a motion to approve? Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Boston Garden, Boston Garden, Arcade Fourth. We could fix that.
3.1B, the acceptance of gifts.
Thank you for the offer, Mr. Machado is very grateful that in anticipation, and of course, he will be extending his annual invitation to Elm Church. As you all participate in that. Continuing on,
Acceptance of
the
gifts.
acceptance of gifts, the Daniel Educational Bengal Foundation, in conjunction with Fall River Rotary, have donated $1,250 to carpentry and cabinet making for implementation of a roofing curriculum. The funds are to be used to purchase roofing tools, harnesses, roof materials, curriculum, support, etc. And the recommendation is to accept the $1,250 donation made by the Diamond Bengal Educational Foundation in conjunction with Fall River Rotary to be used for the roofing curriculum.
Need a motion to accept?
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And we have from Mr. Brian Gauthier, he has donated a 2010 Dodge Ram Quad Cab four-wheel drive, estimated value of $6,610 to the Auto Technology Program. And the recommendation is to accept that donation made by Mr. Gauthier to the Auto Tech Program for them to take and do what they need to do with it. $6,610 is the estimated value.
Need a motion to accept?
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Do they ever get rid of the old cars? Because
Yeah.
we're gonna be limited on
Oh,
space
yeah.
when we go back over there. I mean, they're gonna take,
Last car they took in was one of the Rodrickses. It was in memory, the Rodricks family.
Yes.
Kenny Rodricks had donated a car. It was a working car, but it was rather old. So they're taking it to do the schematics and all that. But yeah, they do.
yeah, we just have one donated was that last month?
Yeah.
The Camaro. Right, we're running out of spaces in the building.
We're packing all the stuff.
Guys have a big truck.
Take care of it.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman.
I just.
Okay, E, use of facilities.
We do have a request for the use of facilities. The Journey Christian Church has submitted a use of facilities request to use the auditorium for their annual Christmas program to be held December 5, 2025 and December 6, 2025. You can see the rates that are there for Friday and what the cost is total, $504.82 for both the Friday and the Saturday. And the recommendation is to approve the request by Journey Christian Church to use the auditorium for their Christmas program, December 5, December 6. Total use $504.82, and there are no animals.
Need a motion to approve. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. Ms. Chibo, who recently shoots between Miss Rose, Chef Rose, you've seen her in the culinary arts. You've been eating there. She is a key club advisor, and she has requested an assistant director due to the very large number of students that are participating in the key club. This is in line with the contractual obligation that once the number crosses one, that there can be an assistant appointed. In keeping with other assistants that have come forward for the ask is here for the, not only for the advisor, but that the stipend be 75% on the key clubs. Regular key club advisors stipend. This is a non-contract, but the contract has language that has a second instruct if it goes over a certain. The recommendation is to approve request for a key club assistant advisor in line with the DTA contract.
Need a motion to approve. Need a second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
They do have a lot of kids this year and they're playing a lot of good things.
All right, we are moving on to the bid award for number that fuel oil.
So this is just to put in place, recommend spray as our, funding for our oil, for the fuel oil for the 25-26 school year. They are on the state bid list, and we have been using them for a few years now, so we're just looking to have a motion to award that.
Okay, the recommendation is to approve the spray operating resources bid, the fuel, number 2 fuel oil.
Last year. I'll make that motion.
Take the motion, I get a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, moving on to surplus and disposable equipment.
So I can also speak to that. So
This is actually combined. And you heard Ms. Picasso say she can talk to the IT contractor. As you're all aware, and I will turn this over to Ms. Wegeser, there's been a concerted effort in all the shops and ready for our move management. You heard Mr. Alex speak about that earlier. We need now to start cleansing this building of items we no longer need. And there's several categories here. And tonight before you have the ones that Mrs. Wegeser will talk to you about. It's a complete list over here, but I'll let Mrs. Wegeser explain the process here and what's going on.
So as far as the IT surplus, they are looking to recycle it with Upcycle. We've used that company in the past. All of the equipment listed here is past its useful life or damaged. So it would not be feasible to offer it up to the communities if they're not in like water. So they are looking to send these all over to Upcycle. So we will get, which is kind of like scrap metal.
Have they started to talk to you about stuff that has to be auctioned?
Not, so I think Leslie is working on getting lists together, and then when we get a list together, then we will start working on the auction piece. I know we usually use auction internationally to get that going. But we just have to see what the salvage value is, to see if it's worth it, or we should offer it up to the community first.
All right, you ready for me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm kind of doing this in phases, so I've got my fall cleaning schedule, my winter packing schedule, my spring cleaning schedule, and then the moving schedule, okay? But if you can imagine facilitating that through the 25 department heads, and one man's trash is another man's treasure. So I gave them the sheets, which are color coded, red, yellow, green, and blue. And they don't know, it's not their items or whatnot. I said, do the best you possibly can. So they're all over the place. The trash is pretty consistent. So I told them if they were unsure, just put everything in the move. And part of that is, I want to assure that we're getting items in place of those items. Or if we know we're 18 chairs short in the science department, but yet everybody else is surplusing their chairs, then let's go look at the chairs to take the 18 best with us. Because the last thing that I want to do is move over there and look like we're a ragamuffin school. Okay, so the first items that we're working on is trash. So that's a complete list of everything. Now, there may be some items on here that we may deem are not trash. So how we've divided it is myself, Alan Benavides, and Miles Brilliant are gonna go around. We have the tags from Colliers that say trash. We're gonna go with the checklist and inspect these items to see if they really are trash. If, for example, I go into this room, they got the pile, I look at it, it's all trash. I'm gonna give them the stickers and I'm gonna say, you're clear to throw it in the dumpster. If it is not, then I'm gonna say, nope, I want you to move that on your sheet to surplus. All right, and then the surplus is the same thing. You see a lot of items that are on surplus, again, maybe there are some desks on there, right? And okay, that's fine, but if there are bookcases that are not dented or rusted or anything like that, I'm gonna say, hold on to that until we know what is actually going in the other building. And a lot of the teachers are asking and have concerns about storage. Are there cabinets? Are there things like this? And right now, I can't tell them yes or no, okay, until we get through that final list. So that's why we're gonna slowly go to surplus. At that point, when we know, that list will go in front of the committee. And we'll do the same thing about taking pictures and then putting it out to auction. But what's happening is pieces of information that they were told a year and a half ago, new information. That's why I'm trying to streamline everything into one document, all your questions in one document. So that way I am ensuring, one, that from working with Greg Joint, that yes, we are getting the part of this as part of the contract. Now I can go back to the surplus list and say, this is gonna be okay, here's your surplus. It is a huge undertaking. I can say that all my administrators are getting battled with emails and questions. It's too much. We still have a job to do educating our students. So that's why I know you receive my emails, you will see a very strong, everything needs to go on this document. Because as I get the answers, I'll be transparent and put those answers out. And then that one too, we know that there's another set of eyes on things that either are gonna go for sale or getting thrown out. Between me, Miles and Al, and Al, we have a good plan on how we're gonna time.
Good. Any questions or comments?
No.
But I do want to let you know, this is like I said, has organized this. 70-something years, or whatever the number of years of the building here, it's been consolidated, and trying to get it all done in one. Really organize it exceptionally well. And we are following all the policy on disposable tangible goods.
Okay.
We're being very careful, and that's why we're bringing it to the committee, so you have a look at it too.
You know, can I say something? Not only are you doing a marvelous job educating the students, but this is a separate job and it's almost a job unto itself.
Oh, it is.
And so, thank you.
No problem. I'll have more
That's what I say,
attention
this
to
is what
detail once I get through the way. When those details go off, I can concentrate.
Yeah, the wedding.
Okay, the recommendation is to approve the surplus and or disposal equipment as submitted. Need a motion? A second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. And moving on to the monthly financial report.
So we're still working on spending, watching the budget. I don't have any transfers as of yet, but I will. Probably in December, just to clean things up. There might be things that have been moved or we created a new line in order to just see it a little clearer. So I will be taking a look at this and seeing any adjustments. The end of year report was submitted on time on September 30th, so once that goes through and we get a carryover number, that will be put into the extraordinary repairs. And then we can use that to fund some of these as well.
Okay. Any questions on the monthly financial? No? Great, thank you. Moving on to J, expenditures. think we covered some of these already.
I believe the top four ones we see.
This was just.
So we have, for Skills USA, we have $12,240 for the 2025 to 2026 total participation membership fee. We have Hub Technology Services for $48,620 for their antivirus renewal. We have Venus de Milo for the homecoming for $43,800. We have Passett Court for $24,315 for repairs to the door, which is the front entrance. One of the doors was not locking, so we do, for safety reasons, get that repaired. And then Fisher Bus, for the senior prom, $15,750.
Need a motion to approve the expenditures?
So moved.
Need a second? All in favor? Aye, opposed?
How many buses do we get to use? Is it not nice?
About 80 of them.
Yeah.
You guys know.
Oh, yeah. What's this whole? 96. I've ever rented.
All right, moving on to K, House Building Subcommittee report, Mr. Vidiadio.
Okay, in front of you, you have all the community projects, that are currently being looked at or worked on. Do you have any questions about any of them? At the bottom of the second page, you'll see the community projects that are either finished or not gonna be done. And they're crossed out, So, Jen's keeping us more updated on what's being done with the project. She's kind of, she's looking when somebody asks, they fill out a form that she has online. And, she's talking with the shops before she approves a project to go onto this list. So if the shop is too busy, then, she pulls off, on it and notifies the people, and then, they want to wait till the following year, then she'll hold on to it for the following year, but she's not gonna overburden these shops with lists that they can't get done by the end of the year, especially this year. And, Mr. Jennings, just for record, the, house building project for 26-27 has already been, placed online for a house to be built by dining students. We'll be doing little advertising. We just talked to our to Jen as well, the charge of the shops, about getting the like we did last year. We wrapped the vans that are traveling through the streets all day long with different shops that have the advertising for the 27 house building project. So.
Yep. Very good, thank you. Moving on to the LPN Subcommittee report, Mr. Began.
Yes, we have a lot to think about with the LPN program as our lease is coming up in 2025 down in the vault. So, and I just realized, I didn't realize we were capped out. We have to go out to bid. We can't even renew there if we wanted to, which is not a bad thing. Yeah, making some change anyway. We have some opportunity out there to potentially go into some space at BCC at, on lease costs, which would be minimal at best. We met with them yesterday, looked at the space that they have down there would work for us if we needed it. We initially looked at the space that they had for their nursing programs and so on and so forth, which was great. High tech, high technology, good space, but it's not going to work for us. It's not the same type of equipment we use. It's not the LPN, curriculum criteria that, it's not a framework. So we asked them if they had any open space that we can utilize and just we have all the equipment in the other space. So why waste the money? Let's use our own equipment. And that way there's no liability of their equipment. There's no, they buy these type of syringes, we buy these type of syringes, that we use our stuff. And there's no question of who's using whose equipment and how much it's gonna cost. So we did look at a space, it looks good. It's just a matter of, I was provided with, some profit and loss information. Some of it was just this evening, so I haven't had a chance to fully digest it. As far as where we stand financially with this program, not only where we currently stand financially, but moving forward in the next couple of years. Once we can eliminate, if we can eliminate a huge cost on a lease, where is the program going to stand with an optional, obviously you're going to have a percentage increased annually and so on and so forth, which we figure into that. So I'm going to sit with, Mr. Trossel tomorrow and we're going to wrap our head around these numbers a little better and kind of realize where are we now, where are we going to be next year, and then moving forward. And if it's feasible to continue with a day program full-time in its actual space, or do we go to a night program and move it into the new building when that's open, or do we just scrap the program altogether? These are a lot of unknowns. I'd love to keep the program going. I think it provides a service. I did do some research. There are a lot of programs that have folded in the last couple of years. Most of the Voc-Tech schools, Blue Hills, Tri-County, Bay Path, they all eliminated their LPN programs. Most of it was due to financial as well as regulatory issues that they were running into with the Board of Nursing. So it wasn't all because of the financial, it was a lot of regulatory issues. So I think we have a solid base of instructors. We've got 34 students in there right now. Our director states she gets phone calls every single day of people. Sessions, when are we going to be taking applications for our the upcoming programs. She can't really give an answer. We have a lot of deadlines. I believe we have to let the landlord know by December.
So the lease is up June 30th, 2026. I did not find anything that specified a December date, but I do know that the January date was to let the
Board of Nursing.
Board of Nursing know.
Yeah, because if we do plan to move, we have to notify the Board of Nursing, give them 6 months notice. So we have to make a decision probably by the next meeting, if the latest December meeting. So my plan is to, Mr. Russell, tomorrow, go through these numbers, digest them a little bit, and we'll have another subcommittee meeting probably, maybe even next month.
Is it the BCC area, that open area, is it require a build out?
Minimal at best. Minimal at best. But potentially a little bit of a cubicle. They have a sim lab. We have a sim lab, but they do have a room that's already built for a sim lab. We just have to put a single wall in there with the glass window. Very simple to be able to do the sim lab. It's adjacent to, we have a lab space with the sim lab area, and it's just adjacent with an adjoining door to an actual lecturing room as well. So you can have both of those spaces, plus a storage room. So
Do you know how long it takes for the state to come down and do an inspection? I'm sure it's gonna be inspected.
well, we can find out. They have a nursing inspection. They have an accreditation inspection coming up in March, which will be done at our current location. As far as the Board of Nursing goes, I mean, we can ask Lisa how long it takes to get an inspection to get it done. I mean, we'll be looking at, next class wouldn't be starting till the fall of 26th anyway. So if we make a determination by January, because we'd have to notify the Board of Nursing anyway, we should have ample time to ramp up and make this happen if that's the direction we can.
Right. All right.
So at this point, I have no recommendation, just informational, and I'll try to.
Again, it's a really good atmosphere for the students. Instead of, vacant building or something, of being in a college atmosphere.
Yeah, and they do, we saw, I mean, they have their cafeteria, they have their little snack shack, they have, they have that college, like you said, that college atmosphere.
It's good.
And I do, looking at the other programs that have shut down, and I mentioned this in my subcommittee meeting earlier, is, we have to look at it as, is that the writing on the wall? Are these programs going away? Or is it gonna be to our benefit? Because there aren't enough programs out there. So we're gonna be able to continue to fill this program. Because there is a demand for LPNs out there, despite what some people may say.
Yes.
There is definitely a demand for LPNs out there. And if there's no programs putting them out, we are to benefit from that. We are to benefit. So I would love to see us continue with this program. I just need to make sure it makes sense for us.
And if, depending on the options, if we need to go out to rebid it again.
Right. Well, that's the other thing, Attorney Brilliant, we didn't know, we weren't sure if we were gonna have to, if there was something, because it's another public building or state building.
We'll find that out.
We have to find out, are we gonna have to, because we're just, I don't know.
All right.
That's
Sounds like
outside
it's-
of my realm.
Doesn't sound like it's a good fit.
It does sound like a good fit, and BCC is very anxious to work with us because, as you know, they want to come into our center and use our facilities for some of their night school projects that they have going on. They want to start with HVAC and utilize our facility to do night instruction, and from there, if they're hoping this takes off, they want to move on to, electrical, plumbing. They want to do a night, BCC wants to do a night school and use our facilities.
Do they use their own teachers when they use like HVAC? Do they?
They're gonna hire hours.
They're gonna hire us.
Okay.
There
So
is
you're
a
gonna come back to us
I'm
next
gonna come
month?
back to you next month. We'll probably plan another subcommittee meeting.
There is a pipeline of money coming down to the community colleges to expand CTE.
Yes.
And we want to make sure that we, in some negotiation power too, for our students that want dual enrollment through an early college high school model.
Mhm.
So I think it positions us to open up some additional.
We discussed, I did mention, our dual enrollment program and articulation agreements and so on and so forth. So this is definitely to benefit some of these
Very
kids.
Good kids.
All around, I think it's a good partnership that if we can make it happen. It's gotta make sense.
Yes.
All right,
So.
good, thank you. Next is the policy subcommittee report. Yeah, there.
Okay, in front of you, you have the various policies that we talked about. One, we are tabling to next week, and that would be
Admissions.
the fourth one down, admissions and staff children. So, Mr. Bentley, we'd like to go over these that you did with us.
You wanna go through each one? Each one?
I think just a brief.
All right, general overview, I won't read all the initials, I'll read the name, it's easier. Access to building and grounds, the recommendation is that the building be secure and there is a set policy on how people can access the building. And we have a use of facilities form, which covers all of that. School food and nutrition is that we're feeding the students lunches in compliance with USDA and DESE. And that we're making accommodations for students who need special dietary, have restrictions. Gifts and solicitations to staff, they further define the $50 limit on what constitutes a personal gift, what constitutes a class gift, and what constitutes a school gift. And they broke that out. Admission of staff children, we have created, and it will need a small amendment to it, on admission, a policy that would give priority to children of teaching staff here at Diamond.
Is it teaching staff or is it
Of staff.
of staff?
Not teaching staff, right, anybody, who come here, they would be given priority admission. Student funding activities, there's a prohibition on raffle tickets. They see that as a form of gambling and belonging to the lottery system. And they've cautioned that if the school does something with fundraising, stay away from selling raffle tickets, in essence. Relations with parent organizations is that it's incumbent upon the school to have an established procedure of working with parent organizations, PTOs, or any other name. Parent Advisory Council, that's the group that works with us here on advising what kinds of programs. They also expanded that to include CPAC, which is Special Education Parent Advisory Council, and LPAC, which is English Language Learner Parent Advisory Councils. And visits to the school, there should be a set policy, which we do have on visits to the school, what procedures would be and how it's carried out. Happy to report that Diamond is compliance with everything. Biggest change was on the raffle tickets. So, haven't changed.
So, Mr. Chairman, we're looking for approval for the 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're looking for approval on 7 of these, just the JF, A, B, G, and not at the time.
Okay, need a motion on the
I'll make
approval?
a motion.
Need a second?
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Yeah, JFABG will be brought back to the committee as amended at the November meeting.
All right, and superintendent elected.
I will make this quick, and as I have the documents in front of you, first the enrollment report. The October one is an important number in school. We had 1,481 students that were in this building on October the first. On the page after this, you see the breakdown of where they're coming from, Florida, Swansea, Westport. The other are the McKinney-Vento students. They are our students who were in the community. They responsible for them, transport them every day. On the application report, I like to call it that way, it opened up September 15th, and actually the chart that I'm showing you is actually wrong. It indicated as of October 6th, it was 417. Today is October the 9th, we're at 440. So the applications are coming in. And we will be in conformance with the lottery process. Cooperative education, we have 153 students, and I do have a chart for you there as to what programs they're coming from. Mr. Marcinson is very strong with improvement and recruiting employers to keep our students employed. LPN report, we heard earlier during preliminary and looking at several subcommittees. We have 34 students that are enrolled in the full-time daytime program, 21 in district, 12 out of district, and 1 is out of state. For information for the committee, the NEASC accreditation, there was a request to have it postponed, and they have granted that request. The reason it was because they said they wanted to come down now,
This much.
and so we said, no. Bruce Segrist, who is the liaison, in communication with him, he understood totally, and he also said, yes, you told me that last year, and I said, yes, I know. So they have postponed it very graciously to November of 27, which will get us not only into the building, but have a year into the building. So hopefully by then we have a great flow going on. The next part is accountability score and MCAS. We're going to have Dr. Katie Warren report out on that, because that does impact some of our scores here. Katie, thank you for being so patient and being with us tonight. Turn it over to you.
Evening. So we did have a slight drop in accountability, which was to be expected this year with changes in MCAS. 60% of it is coming from MCAS, and so we see we lost 2 points on student achievement, 1 point on growth. So 3 of the points we lost were from the MCAS itself, and as you know, it wasn't a graduation this year. We did gain 1 point with our improvement with the dropout rate, and we lost 1 point with advanced coursework completion. So most of the points lost were with the MCAS. But working with some really incredible teachers who've been diving into the data, we've been getting together instructional planning teams and looking at trends in data. I think it will come as no surprise that what we've been seeing across all content areas comes with perseverance when it comes to writing longer essays, constructed responses in both the science areas and the math areas, the essay and English, things that kids have to really spend a lot of time on, perseverance, multi-step equations, things of that nature. That's where our students really struggle. And so we're working in content area teams. The teachers are looking through the data together with me and coming up with strategies for how are we as groups going to address some of this. And then we're coming back together to say, okay, are these strategies working? So what our goal is to say, okay, we know the MCAS is not going to be a graduation requirement, but we're still maybe not happy with being at 52% accountability. We know that these still some strategies and the frameworks are still important, so we're going to address. This might be some of the things. I think you guys are all on the all staff, so you may have seen some of the newsletters come out and seen like the Cornell notes is something that all 10th graders are doing, or perseverance in physics, and that's what graders do there.
So don't go on to reporting out because this will probably be public very shortly, if not it's already leaking out. And you're going to be, you might get asked questions about that as committee members and community members. You'll see comparisons to other school districts you'll see comparisons on how this school building is doing to other school buildings. In the vocational bracket, we're doing okay. I'll ask, Mrs. Weckerser, she's reviewed these also, and you also did a comparison.
Yes,
Leslie?
so we did do a comparison of, we took all of our schools that were connected to our urban school district, and we did see, there were a couple that did have higher achievement, higher accountability score, but we're pretty much consistent with most of our urban school districts. Attendance, we're making great strides, we're blowing everyone out of the water as far as our attendance rates. Right, like that is saving us, but we do have some work to do, and we have to think ahead because, the kids we have today might not be the kids we have next year. So we're really working that instructional coach that I have in the building, teachers are signing up to work with to get non-evaluatory feedback. She's coming in to do some intense professional development on teaching all students in different instructional strategies. Dr. Warren and Mr. Chico took a team of teachers off to an instructional leadership. And I think it's not what we're teaching, we just need to hone in on how we're teaching it. So we're putting a concerted effort on different strategies and making sure that we're giving our staff the support to learn how to do it.
Diamond has great vocational programs, and you know that. And we compare very well to other schools with vocational and skill competitions. And just in general, as the committee knows, we're being honored by the governor coming up in a couple of weeks at Gillette Stadium for the work that's been done in manufacturing, in particular with metal fab and welding, and in advanced manufacturing, our machine shop. So it's nice that that's pointed out. And what we're learning is that the students coming in need some little extra effort and different way of teaching them in the academic realm so that they can understand it and again perform. As a good vocational student, you should also be able to speak about it, write about it, talk about it when you're asked questions. And those are the skills that we're working on. So we're good. I don't want the committee to walk away saying, oh my God, we're doing horribly. No, we're not. We're doing very, very well. But it did take a dip. It has been analyzed. It's continuing to be analyzed. Leslie, Kate, and Deb, as you just heard, are all making recommendations on how to, it's not a bleed at all. I don't want anybody to think, oh my God, we're hemorrhaging and academics. No, we're not. But when the scores take a dip, there has to be analytical work on as to what happened, why did it happen, and how do we improve it. And that's where we are. I don't know if you have any particular questions of any of us.
I think that's the beginning, was that all 8 groups, so that what, 10th grade, just 10th grade, right?
So- Just sophomores, advanced coursework looks at juniors and seniors being enrolled in higher level courses. And we lost completion.
I do want to talk about something, Bill, that I thought was impressive, that we do get out of their accountability. It's separate from the accountability. So when the sophomores take MCAS, they're asked, they're given a climate survey. Okay, so they sneak it in there, so all sophomores have to take it, and it's in a favorable category, being anywhere from 70 to 100%, mostly favorable, like 50 to 70, least favorable, and they ask questions about how our staff interact with kids, how do they push them forward, how do they offer extra assistance, how do they offer choice in assignments, how do teachers respect one another, how do teachers respect kids, how do kids speak with kids. I am happy to say that all students, we went up to 94% in some of those areas. And we took, when they averaged all the categories together, we went from 50% to 57%. So we're on the cusp of that mostly favorable on all categories. So that is important because especially sophomore year, if someone gave me $1 million, I would never want to do it again. My least favorite high school year. But it's, you're taking that daunting test and then the kids ask questions about how do you feel about school. That could be a rat race, right? But for Diamond to score that high about how our kids feel about being here says something about what we're doing. So if you've got that combination, you'll be successful.
There's definitely a culture shift that is happening. And what we like the most is that the students of color, the students of diversity, as it's called, they're comfortable in our building. They're comfortable and they get along. And they see the teachers as being engaging and trying to help them, that their teacher really helps them.
I
It's
have
good to
a,
hear.
I have a teacher that I can go to if I have an issue. That one was like
Yeah,
97%.
that was high, that was off the
You know,
chest.
so those things are very important. So that's the work that our staff does every day.
But I think
Very good.
Yeah, I think it's also important to point out, it wasn't a nosedive at all, you know, I think that everybody knew with not being graduation requirements, that was gonna be difficult for the students in general, but even comparing to the areas or sending districts, we still outperformed more than half of them and were incredibly close percentage wise and accountability wise to the other two. So we can certainly provide those statistics to you at some point if you'd like, but I mean, within 5 percentage points to one of them and 8 to the other, so unbelievably close and then very much above the other two. So when we're talking about students who are coming to us, we're doing academics at half of the time and
Right.
they're still able to do well. So it certainly wasn't a nosedive at all, and you know, we're looking at the data now to say how can we be even better than we already are, you know, because that's the goal, is continuous improvement.
Very good.
Kate has been very diligent with these meetings, so. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to calendar event.
Just pointing out Columbus Day coming up on Monday.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the month, on the 24th, we have our annual homecoming. Right now, there are close to 600 students who are going to be present. Last year it was 900. We expect the number to jump significantly. You're very welcome to come to the Venus de Milo this year. Here in the neighborhood, come on in, then between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. and to check out our students in action. It's an exciting day.
I've been, man, it's insane.
And in calendar events for November, plus we have the traditional Thanksgiving holiday coming up towards the end of
In our next school committee meeting,
November.
13th.
13th. Okay, was there anything
No,
put in 48 hours? No. No correspondence. Next meeting is November 13th. We have a reason to go into executive session.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, pursuant to MGLC, chapter 38, section 21, paragraph 2, to strategy sessions in preparation for negotiation of non-union personnel to conduct collective bargaining sessions of contract negotiation with the Washington position.
Hey,
You'll likely not have any votes. We'll probably re-enter and not have any votes.
need a motion to go to executive session?
So moved.
Need a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call?
Mr. Jennings.
Yes.
Mr. Beegan.
Yes.
Mr. DiBiaseu.
Yes.
Attorney Flanagan, Mr. Manuel's.
Yes.
Ms. Menard.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kate.
We are back.
We are back in the open session. Need a roll call?
Mr. Jennings.
Yeah.
Mr. Beegan.
Here.
Mr. DiBiaseu.
Here.
Attorney Flanagan, Mr. Manuel's.
Yeah.
Ms. Menard.
Okay, need a motion to adjourn?
Motion made.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn.